And we are on. Thank you for tuning in. It is Rosalind of RareByRosalind.com. You know, I show up online to help you improve your home, your hope, your health, and your happiness. Do you remember that? Because it's been a while since I have gone on live publicly in our private group, Greener Pastures Utopia. But we need to talk about something that just happened about an hour ago, right? An hour and a half ago. So Terry's here. Terry don't seem too happy at all. Oh wait. Okay, so I'll just jump to it. The title already said it. The police were called on Terry. The Collier County Sheriff's Office was called on Terry today because this, you're like a statue, because he refused to wear a mask at a postal service place. So Terry, you wanna explain? So he didn't even get to mail his thing out. Here's the mail. We still didn't get to mail it out, so we're gonna try again tomorrow. But Terry, can you explain what happened? And if you're watching this, I haven't gone on live in a while, and there's some things that I want to talk about, some systematic racism. There's some things that I want to talk about psychological racism. We're going to get into that because I'm going to make this video a little bit like all-encompassing. So I will get to those things, and we are going to figure out how we are going to address those things, how we're going to move forward. With everything that's going on, I think that we have a way that we've been talking, how we can move forward from this. And I didn't plan on doing this today. I really didn't prepare for this, but I figured right now is the opportune time for you and I and Terry to talk about this and express his, so he can tell you. And we haven't talked about what he's going to say. So if you know my husband, I'm more diplomatic. He's more, this is what it is, and he's going to say it like it is. So go ahead, boo thing.
At some point, we have to say no. I mean, what's next? Now they're forcing us like some old fort at
that's how we starting.
Yeah, like that. That's how I feel about her. At a USPS, forcing or out of store, forcing you to wear a mask to provide service. At that is public service. That shouldn't be denied that at any place where it's public service,
okay,
or taxpayer for it, and
so
you deny
wait.
because you
so
don't want to wear a mask.
That place was not a post office.
It is a post office because in there it says U.S. Postal Service. It's not like U.S. UPS.
Okay, so it was the United States Postal Service inside, like one of those places, like a store.
But
they
too cheap to have their own building. They actually put it inside a damn shell, and then
it was at the Shell gas station.
Shell gas station
on Immokalee Road.
And the lady in there, what pissed me off is the conflict of interest. She like, I can sell you one, and then you get service. If you're not buying it, you're not getting service. Like, is it really about my health, or is it about you making money? And I'm not going to set myself on fire and burn myself up to keep anybody's warm. I don't care who it is beside my kids and wife. So
okay, so you felt there was a clear conflict of interest. They're like, okay, you don't have a mask, I'll sell you one, then I'll be able to serve you. Was she wearing a mask?
But no, she didn't have a mask. She have a shield, like a windshield, like a car, on her face. Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what they call it. It was not like a, you know,
like one of those
a big windshield.
Okay.
Or one like, there's like almost like a motorcycle helmet, but it doesn't have the top part. It just have the glass in front of her face.
So
but
quick
she didn't have the
question
mask.
to you
And I questioned her about not having a mask.
Okay.
Then she went away and went hiding. And then
you started recording her.
Then started recording. Then she went in hiding, and then they came back out. She came back out with a mask. And I started going off.
Because you questioned her why she doesn't have a mask.
Yeah,
and
try to force her to wear a mask. And if she has a mask, she's protected. So I don't want to be protected by nobody. I don't want to do that. Let me worry about my health. Let me worry about my own health. Yeah.
Okay. So, like you said something earlier, you said conflict of interest, and I definitely feel that a lot of times it's less about protecting you and more about a profit. So I feel like a lot of this is how can we control, how can we profit from all of this. So you didn't wear the mask and they called the police.
Yeah, and I kind of have an idea that the cops was gonna show up, but I
And
wasn't
I'm
just gonna
sitting in
run
the car
away.
with the kids, and
Yeah.
the police pulls up. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So I see a police car, then I see another
No.
one, and I'm
Yeah, like
sitting, I'm
three
nursing Safari
cars.
Rose, and Jabari's like, Mommy, why is the police talk? Like, he was kind of excited. He's like, oh, there's a police talking to Daddy. Why is that police talking to Daddy? I said, police talking to Daddy.
I mean, I didn't even call him police. I give him his title because officer earned that name, that respect from me. I'll call you an officer when you prove to me that you're an officer.
So what was her expectation? What do you think she expected?
Probably like most people that call the cops on you, they expect the cops to come in there, like treat be an animal, like throw you on the ground and then put the knee on your neck or whatever, or he probably kill you or something. Like a lot of them expect that, but that officer was very professional. He came and asked me what was going on and how can he help me and stuff, and I start talking to him, and then he says, what can I do to make this better for you today? If I go to my car and I find a mask, a clean one, a good one that haven't been used, would you just wear it to get your stuff mailed out? I'm like, no, sir.
That's at that point where I jumped out of the car and I was like, so what's going on here? And then Terry starts to explain to me what's going on. So I said, oh, is there a mandate that I missed? And the officer was like, no, there's no mandate. I'm like, oh, so maybe there's a law. So did a law pass that I missed? And he's like, no, ma'am, there's no law.
But he actually did give me a mask, a clean one. I'm not sure if his wife made it for him.
But we thank you.
He was a good officer. I respect that. And that's why we can't blame all officers for something somebody like 1,000 or 3,000 miles away done. And stuff. So we have to treat people with respect when they treat you with respect.
And he did. He was both those officers and the other ones that ended up coming. Nice, they were nice officers. So that goes that there. It just
that night. I don't think that would happen like right now in Collier County. Like this sheriff, it's
a good county
super
to live in.
Professional.
Yeah, I definitely agree that it's
like
a good county to live on. So she probably expect like, hey, this guy, black guy, I'm about to call the officer, and he's not getting served, this, that, and that. And we understand this is where it's like this slippery slope. So the United States Postal Service is a federal
public. It's public service.
Yeah, it's public,
basically.
But they're inside of a private building, so it's
that don't make them private.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
private.
something that we should bring up to the United States Postal Service.
Yeah.
That, hey, like, we were refused service with one of your satellite stores, and this is what went down because we didn't have a mask, and there's no law, there's no mandate for you to have a mask.
Yeah, I'm not gonna inhale my own CO2. Like, I'm not wearing no mask on nobody.
Oh, so
like,
we getting technical?
Why would I do that? Like, inhale the toxic crap that are coming out of my body?
Yep, that's basically
like
it.
I mean, anybody, like, try it for a whole day. Just wear a mask all day, and then at the end of the day, just try it just for you, just not because somebody said. Just try it. At the end of the day, go smell that mask. Go smell it.
So you're trying to make them experiment?
Yeah, just experimenting to see what they try to get you to do.
Okay, this is not health. This is not medical advice. So
no,
if you have
it's
a health
not medical
condition
advice
that prevents you from wearing a mask for an extended period
Don't
of time,
do it.
please do not do it. But
if you want to experience and see what they try to make you do, honestly, put the mask on like for at least probably like 5-6 hours. Put it on and keep it on. Cover your nose and mouth. And if you have difficulty to breathe, just pull it away a little bit and breathe. And then after 4, 5, 6 hours, and smell that mask.
Yeah.
You see what happened to it.
Okay.
And all those smell of toxic crap that's supposed to come out of your body, you exhale the CO2. They want you to inhale them back. Like maybe that mask is what's gonna get us sick.
Yeah.
And at some
that's
point,
what's happening.
At some point, we have to say no, because now if they're gonna force us a little old fort at a store, or wherever, telling us, oh, so you have to wear a mask to get service.
Did you just say a little old fart?
Yeah, that's what she is. That's what she is. And then they try to force us to wear a mask to get service. So what is next? What about when the Bill Gates vaccine or the digital
Terry,
tattoo came? So
Terry, I was gonna go into that, but I wasn't going like right.
I know, like what's gonna be next? How do we get service anyway? Like we're not even gonna be able to grocery shopping.
Yeah, and that's where it's going to get to. But
then the whole thing I've been talking to my wife about when this whole thing start.
Okay.
When the whole thing start, like
that's where I was going.
How there's gonna be unrest, how they gonna be on the wood,
we
jacking
talked
truck,
about it. Like literally,
jacking
Terry
things,
and I, we talked about how it was going to get bad. And I think we kind of mentioned it in the video in Green and Pastors Utopia where he's wearing the shirt, Tyranny Response Team, and I'm like all pretty and all that stuff. But we talked about how it is going to get, like how things are going to get uncomfortable.
People would start stealing, but I didn't know what's going to come from a racial.
Okay, so this is where I needed this conversation to go. So
let me put that out there first so people know. Those BLM or whatever Antifa
so we're going there.
terrorists might see that video. If you see my truck on the road, you think you're gonna come take my load? You're gonna eat a lot of bullets. You will, because then nobody gonna come steal from me. You're not gonna steal from my truck, and that load is in my truck. It belongs to my company. It's mine. And if you think you're gonna come and steal it,
is that a threat or a promise?
No, that's not a threat.
Okay, just make it.
It's not a threat, but stay away from my trucks.
Yeah.
Stay away from my load. It's my load once it's in my truck. Okay. You come for it, you come for me. Because I'm not taking a claim. I'm not going to have a claim. I'm not going to put a claim on my insurance. I know some people are going to say, oh, you have insurance, you pay insurance, let insurance deal with it. No, my insurance not going to be dealing with it. I'm going to deal with it before my insurance deal with it.
Okay.
You come for my truck, I come for you.
Okay.
There's a action for ego. There's a reaction for ego action.
Yeah. So every action, there's an equal and opposite
reaction.
Okay. So Terry, you talked about something, and it's about like the racial tension. We literally sat when this COVID thing first started, and we said, "Dang, there's gonna be rioting in the street.
Yeah,
there's gonna be
because people are gonna be hungry. They're not gonna be able to eat."
And the tension. So we talked about it from like a psychological standpoint. We talked about it like, "Dang, what are we gonna do?" So of course we bought more guns, more bullets, and stuff like that because we wanted to make sure home was safe.
Yeah.
But besides that, we knew that it was going to get to this point. But I did not, like, there was like this plot twist that ended up happening where it turned racial because
there was not enough ingredient in
there was
COVID.
not enough substance in COVID because some people were like, I don't really believe it. Some people were like, oh, the numbers are flawed. So it was hard for people to like say, oh, you know what, this is what's going to cause all the tension, COVID, because the numbers were flawed and we were getting this thing and
not enough.
First masks weren't, you don't need them, and then now you need them. So there's like so much flip flopping. But something that does not flip flop is the tension
when you put racial in it.
When you put race in it, because people like, oh, you know, I need it to be black and white. So when you make it become this thing where it's like black man against the white man against the black man, when you make it that, there's substance, there's meat and potatoes. So now there's you and I. So now there's this conversation. How do we move forward? So maybe this lady, Terry calls her one thing. Maybe this older white lady thought that she was going to get this kind of a reaction from the
get me thrown down on the ground and
or maybe he was going to end up with a cop's knee on his neck. That's not what happened, because so we know that's not the reality of every interaction with a black man and a police officer, right?
Yeah.
But what we do know that there are prejudice in the world.
Yeah, there is. In everywhere, even in black.
Yeah,
like Spanish everywhere. Like
within Spanish.
African American didn't treat me right when I was going to high school here.
When I grew up, when I was younger, I mean, they used to say things like, we eat cats.
Yeah, I'm both. I'm this, I'm that. Like certain bathroom Haitian couldn't go through.
Oh,
like,
even in
yeah, in the Immokalee. Oh, really? But I go through them.
Because
because
I
then
wouldn't really want to bother you with
nobody
that
gonna come.
Like this too,
nobody gonna come tell me what I can do, what I cannot do.
Okay, so Terry, this is where we're at right now, and I'm missing out on some of the comments because they're not popping up on my screen here, but they are on the phone. So I'll circle back to them. So how do we move forward? Okay, so I'm not sure. I think my phone is telling me that my storage is not the best. So we're just gonna try to wrap it up really quickly. So how do we move forward from here? What do we do?
Draw a line on the sand.
Not even just that. How do we engage? I've made it a point to have conversations with people that don't look like me.
Yeah.
I've made it a point to really, like today, I met with two women that did not look like me.
Yeah.
And we had real heart-to-heart conversations. And on the surface, looking at where they're at in their lives right now, I would think that they did not struggle with anything.
Mm-hmm.
But both of these women explained to me how they were not as privileged as people would like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I explain this to some people sometimes, and they think that, okay, you're just not looking at the overall picture. What I am not going to do as a black woman in the United States, in Collier County, is pretend that I am not privileged to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Miami. My mother worked hard as a immigrant to this country, as a single mother, and she decided that that environment, and when we talk about building a territory, if you're part of Green and Pastors Utopia, you know how we talk about building that community, building a territory. So when you and I talk about building a territory and creating that, sometimes where you are at is not where you are going to thrive, be able to thrive. So you told me how when you lived in Tampa, the police were after you and all this stuff. They thought that you were involved in this, that, and the other. So you moved. Have you had to experience, besides today, with this? And it's not even like the police coming after you.
I don't know what to call it anymore.
So when we look at these situations,
I've not been dealing with cops here at all since.
Sometimes it's about where you are at. For you to be able to thrive. So my mom moved us from Miami because she realized we would not be able to thrive there. So I went to school here. Mind you, my mom does not read or write English, but she worked hard. We might have been poor financially, but when it came to the energy, to the love that she created, we were rich in that. And she did what she had to do to move us from that area to be able to be here. And I understand some people feel like they can't leave where they are at. I understand that. And then we talk about this whole idea of systematic racism. The system, if I think about, sorry about that, my phone might not let this happen. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try to wrap it up. So when we talk about systematic racism, I think that it's less about systematic racism. There will be prejudice, but it's more about this psychological racism. And I believe that it's causing generational racism. Because right now I'm watching a lot of people teach their kids that all officers are bad, that all white people are bad. But what we need to understand is your kids are going to be in these schools sitting with these white people, with these white teachers as authority figures, and how do you expect them to interact? I think we need to all come from a place of love and understand that the opportunities are there. My mom had to move us to here. Even though she couldn't teach me, she couldn't do the things, but we had teachers in the system that helped me, had scholarships to go to school, was able to do these things. Now we're able to be landowners. We're able to be we are able to be entrepreneurs in this country because of the opportunities that are provided to us as Black people, right? So this idea of the system is out to get you, we need to eliminate that. We need to have honest conversations with people that don't look like us so we can see that the systems are impacting all of us. So how do we collectively, not as collectively as Black people, not as collectively as just white people, how do we come together as humans, right? So we can be able to make this change happen. We talk about like segregation and discrimination. I feel the climate that we have right now in our society is feeding this discrimination. You're discriminating against yourself. You're segregating yourself. But how do we plan on moving forward? Like even this whole idea of like the internet.
And we have to live together.
We have to learn to coexist. We have to. And
there's no way around it.
Sometimes people refuse to they refuse to learn from people around them. They refuse to have these honest heart-to-heart conversations. They refuse to realize that, hey,
but you know what?
You're going through the same things that I've went through. You're poor, you were poor, you're working towards it. But we don't have to just stay around people that are poor. And I don't want to just hang out with the people that I hanged out with before, because I'm always trying to elevate past that.
That's where you at. And guess what? If it wasn't for people that don't look like you, we wouldn't know how to get those land we got.
Yeah, exactly. It's having that conversation, having someone that did not look like me that said, hey, so if you're really interested in buying land, this is how you need to do it. So I could have like shut down, I could have put up walls and say, oh, that person's white, I don't want to hear from them, I don't want to learn from them. And I have white people in our group right now that are thanking me daily for what I'm sharing with them. They're not looking at me like this is a Black woman. She has nothing to offer me. She's Haitian. She has nothing to offer me. They're not looking at that. They're like, okay, this is resources. We're all going to learn. They share. I share. We have this back and forth. We have this beautiful song and dance. I'm not coming from an oppressed mindset. I know where I've been. I'm telling you, if you guys want me to have this collective group think about, okay, this person, and I get this a lot from the Black community, especially in Collier County. So this white guy stole money from us. So every time something happens, so we'll probably they bring that up. Oh, do you remember those white people that white guy did this to you? So I can be mad at every white person.
No,
but check this out. Listen to this. If I use that mindset, that ideology, you know what I would be doing? I wouldn't be married to a Black man. I wouldn't want to have Black sons, because I've been hurt the most by Black men. Black men I should have trusted, black men within my community. And I know I'm going to lose a lot of people with this because it's, oh, you're talking about the black men. Look, I'm married to one.
Yeah.
So I'm allowed to do this. So I'm going to do it. I've been sexually abused. I've been hurt by black people. So
not a single white man.
Not a white man, right? Not a white man. And that's hurt more than losing money.
Yeah.
But I didn't go around with this hate in my heart where I have to say, I hate all black men and I'm going to talk down to black men. I found a nice, good, solid black man because not all men are the same. Not all white men are the same. Not all black men are the same. Not all black women are the same. Not all white women are the same. We are all different. We come from a place of love. We come up from a place of abundance. We do not come from a place of lack or inferiority or oppression. We come from a place of knowing that our lineage is so rich. It's about digging deep and finding that richness, even though sometimes there could be clouds over us. So this is how we're going to move forward. You are going to have to, this mindset that the white man is after you, this mindset that they're just trying to hold you down, you're going to have to lose it. This mindset that we're going to defund the police and they're no good.
No good.
We're going to have to lose it.
Yeah.
I believe that there's other ways that we can approach this together, collectively, in that way. A positive way where we can say, okay, maybe we can allocate some funds to these resources, but we have to understand, even the richest of the richest people have security. So do you not want security? I feel secure. I'm always strapped, right? I'm always, like, if you see me somewhere, know that I'm not just like lit. I have kids. And at first, I was so afraid. I was so afraid of guns. And we're taking it there. I was so afraid of guns, but I had this conversation with my husband that he's not always going to be around. So he taught me about gun safety. He taught me how to protect myself. And then we had kids. And I'm a helicopter mom. If you know me in real life, you know I am a helicopter mom. I'm like always hovering around my kids because I know what I went through. I know I wouldn't want my kids to go through that. I wouldn't want my sons to go through that. I wouldn't want my daughters to go through that. And I know my husband is crazy, so I wouldn't want to put somebody in a position for their whole race to be wiped out because you did something to one of mine. So I'm going to prevent it, and you already know. So I'm crazy in that way. What I need you to understand is you need to preserve yourself first. And I know it's hard for some people. Whenever I say that, they say that I'm dangerous to the black community because I'm talking about preserving myself and I'm not worried about the collective. If I do not start at home, I'm not going to be able to give you anything. No. If my mindset is not free in such a way, I will not be able to share anything for you. If my home is not taken care of in such a way, I will not be able to give you anything of substance. And you're just going to keep eating and eating this divisive narrative that the white man is against you. Yeah. That the black man is against you. Because I know that there's some white people that feel like, oh, I'm going to be scared of this guy with dreads. Or this and that. So that exists. A lady did that to me once. I was working, trying to go get food. And that little bucket, a little piece of crap car, I would say, that I wouldn't even take for free if it was given to me. And she saw me. The minute she saw me, the door was open. She just closed it quick and then locked her door. And there's prejudice. I'm not going to deny that. There's prejudice there.
I wouldn't. Does that make you hate every old little old white lady? You think I would steal from you? I can buy your stupid little car like, my bad. I could buy that little garbage thing like 10 times. Right now. Yeah, but they don't look at that. They don't look at that. They don't realize that there's prejudice. So Terry, we're not going to deny that there's prejudice. We're not going to deny that. It's in every race. It's within the race, outside of the race, there's prejudice, whatever. To be honest with you, Terry and I have come to the conclusion that a lot of this, and then somebody's going to loop it back to systems, and I know you're going to do that because I know how the mind works. That's how it works. But we feel like a lot of it is access to finance, money. So if we want to really educate, and we do this in the group, we're talking about ways to make money. If you really want to educate a people so they can get out of this, is teach them how to make money. It's more about class, like my brother be saying. Yeah, it's a lot about class. Teach them how to make money. If the bank see you go to the bank, have a $250,000 in your bank account, they're not going to treat you differently. Yeah, they're going to treat you differently. They don't treat you like somebody that have $100 or $200 in the bank account. Teach people how to make money. So that's why some people are like, oh, you're hanging with white people, you're doing, and I'm just putting it out there. I hang with people that I can learn from. not people, not crab in the barrel.
I'm not doing that crab in the barrel mentality. It's just not. I've done that. I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been there. I've done it. I've been there, done that. I bought a T-shirt. I wore it. After a while, it wore out, and I wanted something different. So you're gonna have to learn to do something different too if you want different results. So that crab in the barrel, I'm just gonna hang around people that look like me. If I'm having a conversation with you, real deep conversation, and I'm entertaining you, it's because I feel like I can learn from you.
Yep.
I feel like I can learn from you, and I'm always open to learning from anybody. I mean, I'm learning from black people, I'm learning from white people, and Spanish people. I'm learning from all people. So to think that you see me doing something and it's like, oh, she's not supporting black people. Oh, let's not even.
Maybe you don't have nothing to be supported of. Go do something of something good, like something real.
Worth supporting.
Then you get support.
And I would gladly. And just like this whole blackout, and I made that post today, and it might have pissed some people off. And here she goes again, not supporting black people.
If it's toxic, it's toxic. It's carcinogen, it's carcinogen.
That's just what it is. So we have to be real about it. It's not a black or white thing. It's an information thing. It's a money thing. And if you really wanna dig deep, start researching.
Yeah.
Start following the money. Where's the money trail?
Yeah.
Where are the ingredients?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about systematic oppression. We're talking about healthcare. We're not talking about the food.
No, we're not talking about the ingredient in those makeup or
we're not talking about these things. So all of these things
plus toxic chemical crap in there.
Statistics.
But yeah, like they're not even talking about those oppression.
And it's just like, and I did the whole Aunt Jemima post, and I said, yeah, there's a black-owned company, but they still have toxic ingredients. So this is the message. Remove toxic mindset, toxic ingredients, toxic environments. You have to move, Terry. If you like Terry always, I know he's about to offer support. If you need support, there are people here that want to support you. We want to support you. And sometimes I might dance around it and try to make it nice and pretty. Terry's not dancing around it, and he's an admin in the group as well. He's giving it to it direct when he has time, because now he's really busy with building the house. But we are here, and we want to be able to advance all people. And people don't like when I say that, because I'm building a tribe. They might not look like me. They might not sound like me. It's not just for one person or one group. But it's a collective.
It's for everybody.
Because we want to see everybody do well, right? Yeah. So we had an experience with the police today. It was a great experience with the police today.
I mean, I like to meet them again.
Yeah.
And I give them that respect of calling them an officer.
An officer.
I don't call them like the officers. I call them a cop or police.
Yeah.
So he earned that from me.
Yeah. So that's what it is, and I appreciate you for watching this, for listening. I know I kind of rant and ramble, and I'm very passionate about this thing. I'm very passionate about us advancing as people. I don't care what color you are. If you are about advancing, if you're about betterment of yourself, betterment of your community, I am here for it. But if you think that I'm going to wallow and I'm going to be in this oppressed place and I'm going to deny the fact that my mom worked very hard bringing us here as a single parent, raised us, have 2 college educated kids, and I'm not going to deny these things, these privileges, these opportunities that I've had in this country that I would not have been, I would not have been able to be afforded outside of the work that my mom did, the work that my husband did too. You heard him say that, no debt, because he helped pay for my schooling as well.
That's privilege.
That's privilege. That's privilege to be able to do that, and being able to build in this country, building our dream home right now.
To the black collective, only white have privilege.
No, but that's not true. It's about opportunity. It's about where you position yourself. It's about who you're networking with. It's about the conversations you have. It's about not this negative group think that's not going to take you anywhere at all. So that's really what we wanted to share. We haven't done a dose of Dorval in a while, so we really wanted to come on here and really share from a place of love. Some of it is tough love. It is what it is. That's how it is sometimes, where we have to say it like it is. Terry was really good today. If you know Terry on some of these videos. Yes, he was really good, and I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on here with me on my page and having this tough conversation and expressing how your experience today.
It's good. I think we, as the people of maybe humanity, until we stop them, they'll never stop. Until we get our freedom from those
until we say no, enough is enough.
It's never gonna stop, and we don't have to stop it.
Most definitely.
Whether it's one person stand up, or 2, 20, 100, 1,000, and 1,000,000, we have to say no, because now it's the mask. Next, it's gonna be the digital tattoo. It's gonna be the vaccine. It's gonna be this.
And some people might want it, and let them do it.
Yeah,
it's just I'm for freedom. That's my little bit in this country. I'm for freedom. You know, I want us to be free to be able to make those decisions, right? And
I won't bully somebody who wanna do it.
The same way I've been fighting for medical freedom. I want you to be able to have those freedom to choose if that's what you want to do, and you go ahead and do it.
Yeah, if I don't wanna do it, don't force it on me.
And I didn't get to go through all the comments. We'll meet you in the comment section, and we appreciate you watching this. And don't be a victim.
Stop being a victim.
And when I say a victim, and some people are like, oh, we don't want to be a victim, I mean this right here, that victim mentality. Let's walk away from that. Let's truly walk away from that victim mentality, and let's attract abundance. Let's not come from a place of lack. I mean, I remember us, like, we live in an RV right now. We are dreaming up our perfect life. We are dreaming up our utopia. We are dreaming up our greener pastures. We're not just wallowing in, oh man, this is woe is me. We're not doing that. We are forecasting. We are like shining that light. We have a plan. We have a plan.
So
we make some
didn't
sacrifices.
Just live in an RV just to live in an RV, and we do it because we want to.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why we do it. Because if we wanted to buy a house, we could have.
No, but you told me you was gonna build a house for me, and you doing it, babe.
Building, that's what she wants, and do the plan. And if she complain about anything on the house,
Terry, okay, so we're done. Thank you for watching. We truly appreciate you.
Do not blame
me. We
for
truly
anything,
appreciate you. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk. He's starting to talk about stuff that's not even relevant at this point.
The plan.
So, as always,
to her. I didn't do nothing.
Terry, okay. Thank you for watching. We truly appreciate you. The money.
Funding.
We truly appreciate you. As always, I'm Rosalind of RareByRosalind.com. I show up online to help people like you with a desire to improve your home, your hope, your health, and your happiness. And as always, remember, reward yourself every day by making healthy lifestyle choices. Bye.